Hey guys, Zachary Shaheen here with another video tutorial from 3D for Beginners. In this video tutorial, I'm going to show you guys how to make a lava lamp. Okay, let's get started. Alright, let's go ahead and pull out this second viewer window right here. Now let's go ahead and delete this cube by pressing X and delete. Now I'm going to switch both of the views to orthographic by pressing the number 5 button. This one's going to be a side view, this one's going to stay over here. Alright. Let's go ahead and create the first object we're going to be working with. I'm going to make a circle. Let's push Shift A to bring up the menu and create a circle. For the amount of vertices, let's change it from 32 to 64. There we go. Okay, now let's go ahead and move it to the center. Alright, now this lava lamp is going to be broken up into 3 separate components. There is going to be the base, the tank, and the metal cap on the top. Now there are lots of different shapes and sizes of lava lamps, but I'm going to be making the one on my desk. Okay, so let's start by making the base. Let's go ahead and press Tab to enter into edit mode, and then press A to select all the vertices. Now we're going to press E and then Z to extrude on the Z axis. I'm going to bring this up to right about here, and now I want to scale it in. So while I'm still in edit mode with the vertices selected, I'm going to press S, scale it in a bit. Okay, there we go. Now let's go ahead and make the top part of the hourglass. Press E to extrude, Z to stay on the Z axis, move it up a bit more, and now go ahead and press S to scale it out. Okay, very good. As you can see here, we have created the base for our lava lamp. Let's keep going. Now we are going to make the tank. Let's go ahead once again and press E to extrude, and then Z. Move it up, there we go. And now we also would like to scale it down, so we're going to press S. There we go. Okay, so we've just created a hollow tube, as you can see here. Now what we want to do now is close the top and the bottom, so it's not going to be hollow. So what we want to do is, in edit mode, select all the vertices here. Now what we're going to do is we are going to merge these at the center. So we actually have to extrude again, and then right click. Now over on the left, click Merge at Center. As you can see here, it's closed the circle. Let's do the same thing to the bottom part of the object. Press B to box select, extrude, right click, Merge at Center. Now there is one more thing that we need to do to make the cap of the lava lamp. As you can see here, there are vertices separating the object that we are going to make into the tank and into the base. What we need to do is add a way to separate this object into the cap and the tank. We're going to use the loop cut and slide tool, which is right over here. This is going to create a new set of edges for the object so we can continue to edit it. Let's go ahead and click right there. As you can see, it has split up the object more by adding these vertices. Alright, so the next thing that we're going to do is actually make the tank its own object. Right now, this is all uniform to the same object, but considering that they are going to have drastically different materials placed on them, it would be better to have it be a separate object. So how do we do that? Let's go ahead and go into face select mode. We usually work in vertices select mode, which lets you select vertices, but to make it easier, we're going to switch to face select mode, which is right here. Now you can see we have the ability to select faces on the object. There we go. Once we have all of these selected, we want to go ahead and separate them from the object. The way we're going to do that is by pressing P, and then by clicking selection. If we get out of edit mode, we can see that now the tank is its own object. Now to just work with the tank, let's put it on a separate layer so we can only see the tank. What we're going to do is press M to move it to a new layer, click the new layer, there we go. Now if we select the bottom layer right here, we can only see the tank. Now the tank for my lava lamp is clear glass with pink liquid inside it. But instead of doing that, we're just going to make a transparent pink object to give the illusion that it's filled with pink fluid. Let's go ahead and create a new material, and we are going to name it Tank. Okay, let's go ahead and change the diffuse color to pink. There we go. Let's bring up the intensity. Okay, now we also need to make it transparent, so we're going to click Transparency. Now this alpha value right here represents how much we can see the object. If the alpha value is at 1, that means that the object is completely visible with no transparency. If this is at 0, that means the object is 100% transparent. Let's go ahead and make it 0.3 for transparency. This is what it's going to look like. Alright, now the next step is I would like to make it glow. Remember how we did that before? We're changing the emit value right here. We're going to change that to a 3. Alright, this is what it's going to look like. Alright, now let's go ahead and make some of the lava that goes inside the lamp. Alright, so I noticed that mine always has sort of a ball on the bottom of it of lava. Let's go ahead and make that first. We're going to create a new sphere and move it down here to the bottom of the lamp. There we go. Let's make some more spheres of lava to make it a little bit more interesting. I'm going to add 2 more. I'll put one right here, and I'll put one up here. Now just a heads up, if we rotate the view here, you can see these objects have not exactly been placed inside the lava lamp from all angles. That's easy to fix. Just look at it from a different view, drag the objects into the tank, and there we go, that fixes the problem. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is assign a material to the balls of lava in here. Now let's go ahead and make those red. So, new material. The diffuse color is going to be red, so we're going to put a 1 for the red value and 0 for the green and the blue. There we go. And also we would like these to glow, so for emit, we're going to put a value of 3. Now let's see what happens when we try to render the object. Well, that does look kind of cool, but as you can see, the glowing balls of lava inside are just black. There is a setting that we have to change so we can see them through this transparent object. What we want to do is go under Shadow, and we want to select the button that says Receive Transparent. That's going to allow us to see this object if it's inside or behind a transparent object. One more thing I would like to mention. The light for the scene is still on the layer with the tank and the cap. Let's go ahead and move it over to the level with the tank so we can actually have some light in the scene. So, M, bottom layer to put it on that bottom layer right there, and here it is. Okay, now let's render the image. There we go. So that's going to be the tank of our lava lamp. Now one thing I would like to point out is if we look closely at these spheres and at the tank, you'll notice that they have very rough edges like this. The way that we can fix that is by clicking on each one of the objects and changing the shading from flat to smooth. And it smooths out the object. Okay, now let's go ahead and assign a material to the base and to the metal cap. We're going to make a new material, and let's name this one metal because it's going to be representing metal. We're just going to change the diffuse color a little bit and make it a bit darker. We're going to make the specular color the same color as the diffuse color, and also the hardness value we're going to turn down to 8. That gives it a little bit more of a metallic look. Okay, now let's put the tank and the light back into the scene. We're going to select all of the objects by pressing A, and then we're going to press M to move them back to that top layer. Now if we click on the top layer, everything is back. Now if you'll notice here, you can see that my bottom lava ball is kind of sticking out of the tank. All we have to do is scale it down a little bit. So that we can see the pink and the red glow from the lava lamp, let's add an object right next to it to cast light onto. What we're going to do here is create a new plane. There we go. Now let's go ahead and move the plane to the bottom of the lava lamp. Let's go ahead and scale it up. And now we're going to go tab into edit mode and extrude the object up. Okay. The next thing we want to do is remove some of these faces. So, make sure that we're on face select. This face, and this face are going to be selected. Then we're going to press X. Now we are going to be deleting the faces, so go ahead and click faces. And then there we go. Now our lava lamp is inside another object, so the light will have something to bounce off of. Alright, now let's go ahead and give this object a material. New material. We're going to name it box. Okay, now the diffuse color is going to get left alone, but we're going to go ahead and put a texture on it. So, click on the textures panel, new texture. We're going to change the texture type from image movie to clouds. Also, we need to change the coordinates from UV to generated. Now let's go ahead and put the camera in a position where we can render some images. As you can see, the camera is not exactly facing where we want it to face. Now there is a hotkey to put the camera, generally speaking, where you are looking. It is going to be a little bit different because right now we're in orthographic view and the camera is going to be in perspective view. Let's go ahead and look at the scene right where we want our camera, and then we're going to press Ctrl-Alt-0. Now the camera is set to a widescreen format right now because that is standard for, let's say, a movie that you're making. But we want it to be taller so we can see more of the object that we're looking at. So we're going to click on the render control and we're going to change the image size. Right now it's set to 1920 by 1080. Let's change it to 1080 by 1080 so it's a perfect square. There we go. Now we can move the camera around and set the scene. Let's move this light a little bit further away from the lava lamp. Alright, now let's go ahead and render the image. Okay, and there we go. We have just created a lava lamp. Now, just like before, feel free to move the camera around in different angles to get different pictures of your lava lamp. Okay, so this is going to conclude this video tutorial from 3D Creations for Beginners. If you'd like to learn more from these video tutorials, please continue to browse this channel. Also, follow me on Twitter at 3D4Beginners. Thanks for watching.